Easy,
What's up?
easy, easy. Yo, boy, Jimmy Buckets has
Jimmy Butt.
found him a home. The Philadelphia 76ers are currently sitting third in the East on a 4-game win streak. In fact, they have won 8 of the last 10 games. Will they be the team to come out the East easy? Is this it? I know you've been saying Boston, but what about your boy Jimmy Buckets and the 76ers? Can they give them a run?
They can. Just for the fact, because I believe Jimmy Butler's a star, and he's been proving it since he got there. His impact, the
Mm-hmm.
8-2, and I think you have the debate Boston, Toronto. Then you can put Philly right up under them. I don't think Milwaukee is right there with them yet.
Wow.
I don't think so, but uh, I think Philly's the third best team in the East. So I believe they can make a run for it, and I would like to see them make a run, and I like to see them. That'd be the team I like to see beat the Golden State Warriors. Is the
Oh.
Philadelphia 76ers. My guy Jimmy Buckets.
Do you think they would have a better chance of beating Golden State than the Raptors?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Nah.
'Cause I don't have faith in Ben Simmons, to be honest with you. Uh,
Ah.
they said the last time Ben Simmons made a three,
Oh, here
it's
we go.
been a competitive game. I'll put it like this: it's been a long time. It's been a very long time that he's so. I
I feel like I hear a Ben Simmons hasn't shot or made a three stat every week, man. Like from
believe
not just you, but everybody. Last time Ben Simmons made a three,
I didn't have any gray
something crazy.
hairs.
Yeah, like what? Oh man, hey, oh man. There's a couple things, man. I first of all, well, we're gonna come back to this Milwaukee thing because several times you have just sharded on the Bucks, man. But let's talk about your boy Butler in the
Okay.
76. Do you know Butler is shooting 45% from the three since being in Philly? Man,
That's
that shows me this is awesome for him.
yeah. Like I've been saying, you can argue him and Kawhi, but they're the two best two-way players in the league. And then
Wow.
I think under them you have Paul George and such under them, but him and Kawhi, you can argue are the two best two-way players in the league, and you can see the
Yeah.
impact that Jimmy Buckets has on the organization. They come there,
He,
they start winning, just like with Minnesota
yeah.
last year. So
Man, that's a great point. That is a great point, brother. You can always they say you can always judge the impact of an individual on how that franchise or that business or anything is when they arrive and when they leave. And so that I never thought about that. But yeah, Jimmy Butler, everywhere he's gone, has been positive impact from him
right.
arriving. That is great. Joel Embiid making a run for the MVP is not bad either. He's averaging 27 points, 13 rebounds, and three
But
assists.
I wouldn't give him MVP because the question is he the MVP of that team when it's Jimmy Butler that comes there and now they're 8-2, like in the last
Mm,
10 games. So
mm,
I want Jimmy
mm.
Buckets as my MVP. I'm saying it now.
Jimmy Butler, not of the league, easy. Come on,
Not in
man.
the
You
league.
saying
Nah,
the league?
I'm
You
going
saying
too
you
far.
saying of the team, right?
Not in the league. Not yet.
Okay,
Not yet. We'll
not
see. We'll
yet.
see. We'll see how it goes. Uh,
Dang.
but and when you look at it, Wiggins, was he lying about Wiggins and Towns?
Oh no, it's exposed. It's out there.
As out there, Wiggins has been shooting horrible. And even though Towns has put up numbers, um, but I mean, you seen the highlights of Karl Anthony Towns trying to back
Oh
somebody
man.
down,
Oh
and
man.
it's like he's the reincarnated Roy Hibbert.
Oh, don't
Post
do
moves.
Roy. That dude, Roy.
Let
Man.
me stop. Roy was a black belt, so
Oh yeah, we don't wake that up.
I don't
Big,
want them.
big
I
up.
don't want that smoke, Roy.
Nah, man. Nah, man. We're gonna have to look at that. Everybody tune in to the next episode when we break down who is the MVP of the 76ers, because that is a great question to ask.
Who
Who would
is?
be their MVP? Oh man, so we can put that on the docket and discuss later. But I gotta move back to the Bucks, man. What do you have against the Bucks, Easy? We talk about two teams, not even talking about the Bucks, but somehow you found a way to drag in that the Bucks are not the real deal.
I think Giannis is the real deal, but
Okay.
the question is the team. Like, I mean, are we really trying to make Brook Lopez a stretch five, or are we just are we like I don't see them. I put it like this. I think they're a great team. I think they're a good team, but
Uh-huh.
I think in a 7 game series they're not beating Philly. They're not beating Philly, Toronto, or Boston in 7 games. Because I think when
Man.
the playoffs come, I mean, 7 games. I mean, you can key in on what they do best, and I think um I just think I think that's the weaker of the top 20 out of the top teams in the East.
Oh man, we're gonna have to. I think that's another segment. We're gonna have to break down the East top teams in the East, because I feel like the Bucks. I don't know, man. I got a little bit more faith in the Bucks than you, but we can definitely talk about that another show.
Okay.
What about two-way players though? You brought something. I agree. Jimmy Butler is probably the second best two-way player, with Kawhi being number one. But you can make the argument they can be interchangeable. Definitely top two-way players. Um, what's interesting is that LeBron James was probably one of the first really, really great two-way players.
Oh,
Uh,
wait, LeBron?
LeBron James, yeah, he's not
Oh,
he's
are we
not a
so
two-way
wait,
he's not a two-way player no more. That's what I was
wait,
getting
wait. So
at.
are we gonna wait? You said one of the first, so we're gonna skip past uh Kobe. We're gonna skip past Michael Jeffrey Jordan. We're gonna Alvin Robertson, like Sidney Moncrief. For we 2 way players, like LeBron was the first.
One of the first truly great. So I don't see Jordan and Kobe as two-way players. They were great at defense, but how I define a two-way player is a player that will guard the best player on the other team regardless of position.
See, we're gonna have to get into that debate because we say Garland regardless of position, but
Mm-hmm.
have we ever really seen LeBron guard a 4 or a 5?
Yes.
I've never seen. Well, because the question I have is when Dwight Howard
Yes.
was going off on did they put LeBron on him?
Do you remember Dwight Howard, the Magic, the way the Magic beat um, the Cavs that year? It wasn't Dwight Howard wasn't the tipping point. Remember, it was really how the Spurs and the Warriors really made famous, with less movement, but more so of a spread them out, swing ball quickly, hit open shots. That was the year of Turkaloo. Remember, Turkaloo was killing, and all them guys were doing. Rashad
Rashard
Lewis,
Lewis, yeah, you had Jameer
all
Nelson,
Jameer, all them cats were killing by spreading the Cavs out and hitting threes.
but it
That's what
started
beat.
with Dwight Howard because Dwight Howard was a mismatch, and so when they gave the ball to the post to Dwight
Mhm.
would kick it out, and then that's when you swing the ball. So really, are you saying LeBron's defensive claim to fame is Hedo Turkoglu?
No. Because the reason they won was not one player. That team was really predicated. Their success was predicated on that ball movement, spreading people out, and ball movement to the outside. Yeah, pound it into White, get the defense to collapse. A lot of kick outs and open shots and his ball movements that we see a lot of, especially in today's game, are drive and kicks. drive from the outside, get in the hole, make the defense collapse. But that team perhaps was maybe one of the last teams that would go inside out. And then when it got to the outside, that's when it came to that quick ball rotation to get to the open shots, and them guys weren't missing the shot. A lot of adjustments throughout the NBA series are made, like when you got 7 games, you have 7 games, you make adjustments on the fly. To put LeBron James on Dwight Howard to shut down Dwight Howard would not have won that series. That
Can
series,
LeBron guard a Dwight Howard? That's the question. That's really the question. Like, LeBron cannot guard a Dwight Howard. LeBron can't guard a Pau Gasol. He couldn't guard Tim Duncan. He couldn't guard. Like, I mean, you see him, Tiago's, Stephen A. Voice, Tiago's letter. Like, we seen
yeah.
that. We see him face front Paul Gasol, but you're not putting LeBron on a Paul Gasol. You're not putting him on. You're not putting him on a Boogie. You're not putting him on an AD. You're not putting him on a big. You're not seeing him go on a 4 or 5.
Okay, so,
A legit 4 or 5.
So I have to kind of make sure we're speaking in the same realms. Are we talking? Okay. So we're talking about, because right now we both agree that LeBron James is no longer a two-way player, and for real, you can make the argument he has not been a two-way player for at least the last 3, maybe 4 seasons. At least his time in Cleveland, I don't recall. Perhaps maybe his first year, maybe him being a two-way player. So I just want to make sure we're talking about LeBron James at his basically, peak.
At his peak.
Okay.
At his peak.
Okay. So there's a couple of times, right, where LeBron James would go and guard Tim Duncan. LeBron James would, it's hard to say, because also here's the deal, E. How many times has a center, when was the last time a center or a forward been the actual, go-to guy that's winning a series? Who was the last center or forward that has been the guy that, okay, we're going to win and lose off of this guy? When was the last time that has happened? I cannot remember since maybe it had to be Shaq, brother. I can't think of nobody else coming to mind right now.
That they're going to win a championship off
a
center,
where the offense was ran through that center. And I'm talking about championship teams.
Well, LeBron came in 03, so with 03, 04. So within that 7-year span, let me see. Let's go to what you said, last 3-4 years. So let's go to what, 13, 14. So you had Paul Gasol, you had KG, you had Tim Duncan. And I'm pretty sure I can come up with more big names. Marc Gasol came along.
But you see the difference is that Tim Duncan wasn't the guy that drove the Spurs to the championships. I'm not saying he wasn't a Hall of Famer, he wasn't important. I'm saying that the Spurs won those championships based on the ability of those superstars to play great inside of that system. That system won those championships more so than them guys. What I'm talking about is like for instance, if we was playing the Lakers back then and it was Kobe Bryant, if you take away Kobe, they're gonna struggle, right? I feel like if I take away Tim Duncan, they're still, not even the individual, but the team machine would still make them a tough beat, and you would say, oh, they could still.
I don't. To be honest with the San Antonio Spurs, I don't believe that if you take out Tim Duncan, they're still going to win. I don't necessarily believe that because, Tim Duncan was still, the 20 and 10 machine, 20-something and 10 machine that he was, you know what I'm saying? And still I don't believe that. Tim Duncan in the post was one of the best post players of all time. So, and that was Tim Duncan during his prime within the mid 2000s.
Yep.
So
interesting. We can.
I think we should leave that for the LeBron Jordan
We
debate.
will we
You
will
know,
leave that one out there for the people. We'll let them soak in that. Oh man, what else you got, Easy?